Wells the room to really free his arms or to get under this delivery. So far so good. 5 deliveries gone, just 2 runs. So it would be very important that he close this over.
Very much so, Greg. As you see, it's Chauvin. Not if Chauvin Wells has Chauvin. Charles has something to say about it.
This one is lofted over the Captain Mesmin, the long off on region, and it has gone all the way for 6. So what was promising to be a good tight over finished with 6 of the 8 of the over.
Yes.
Finishing the over with a 6, so unable to really close out.
Yeah,
but
we
this
see.
has really moved the Micoud Eagles to 62 after 6.
As we see, Soufriere bowlers not being able to close off their overs properly. As we see that last over, good shot by Chauvin Charles, hitting that ball high and handsomely over the long on fielder, helping himself to 6. So Chauvin now has moved to 24 from 17 deliveries, moving well, 30 from 19. He will face number 11, which is Javon Charles. He's going to be bowling his very first over. As we see, moving well, so we'll take strike to Joe. Full toss here, that ball goes straight up in the air, and Javon Charles not being able to run back, and there's a run out chance, and very good running here by Chauvin Charles coming back for the second here.
So Gary, would you say that was a well-placed shot?
Well, yes, the bowler was not able to get back there in time, so it was well-placed, right in between the bowler running back and the longer fielder. The longer fielder was not able to get, long on fielder was not able to get to that ball. So far, just the 2 runs coming from that over. Would you see that moving? Just mistime that delivery.
Yes, certainly a bit. Ball hit the bottom of the bat, and this one again looking to play the lofted drive. Ball landing well short of the long on fielder Tariq Gabriel. So the last 2 deliveries, moving well, certainly has not made the sort of contact that he would have wanted. So certainly Charles in the midst of a good over.
Yes, we see Javon Charles is going to be bowling. Oh, and Chauvin swings across that delivery, looking to go over long on or mid-wicket. And as you see him just rehearsing the proper shot here, looking to hit straight, and he misses out. So like you said, like you just said, Greg, is Javon Charles has bowled 3 deliveries, just the 3 runs. So he's done well here after a mishap earlier, letting the ball go through him. A good shot by Chauvin is pushing that ball to mid-wicket coming off the boundary. That would be the keeper, Tennessee. And the other keeper in the team, that's Tennessee Hippolyte, looking very quick, coming off the tip mid-wicket boundary here.
But a quick observation, Gary, if you realize most of the bowlers, they tend to start the over well, but the final delivery usually disappears for a boundary. So let's see how he's going to close this one.
Yes, and we did talk about the Soufriere bowlers not being able to close off their overs very well. Now we see Javon Charles, he has bowled the five balls, and he's gone for 4 runs. So let's see if he closes off this over well, Greg.
Again, this one is powerfully struck. Captain moves around and misfield again by the captain Shanai Mesmin. So it's through no fault of the bowler on this occasion, Gary. It's poor fielding by the captain Shanai Mesmin, really not leading by example, and really gifting the Micoud Eagles a boundary towards the end of the over again. So this really is what really hurting the Micoud Eagles, the ability to really close up the overs.
Very much so, Greg. And again, I think the captain should have at least saved 2 runs here, but he didn't. He had another mishap in the field by Soufriere, but that ball was hit very, very fiercely down by moving down to long off by moving well. He helps himself to 37. Micoud Eagles moved to 70 without loss. Chauvin Charles on 25. He's going to take strike. Again, wide delivery. Chauvin misses out on that delivery here, and that ball goes, umpire signals wide. Umpire signals wide here.
So certainly a very good start there. And so far, Gary, in the three matches that we have seen so far, this seems to be the highest opening partnership. And this one is split between the short-foot man and backward point, Kevin Gassi, unable to stop this one, and it races into the boundary for four. So good shot there by Mervyn Wells on this occasion. He's been given a bit too much room by Monrose to really free his arms.
Very much so. Nice, classy shot here by Mervyn Wells, finding the gaps here. As you see, he takes strike. He moves on to Mervyn Wells again, just giving him some room here. And I think Dalius Monrose is very lucky that that delivery did not go for a maximum. But Mervyn Wells has been looking very well here. He moves to 42. 42 from 25 deliveries, 4 4s and 2 6s thus far. As we see Chauvin Charles, he's on 25 from 19.
Yes, this one just peels off the edge of the bat, straight to the fielder at the point region. So Monrose again have started well in this over. And this one is struck straight down to the captain Mesmin, who takes the catch. So finally he has made amends for the misfield and the bad bowling wave so early on in the innings. So that was a relatively easy catch.
Yeah, relatively straightforward catch by the captain. And we say straightforward, but it still has to be taken. So Nesman holds on to that one here, as we see Chauvin Charles just getting out there of the bowling of Dalius Monrose. Catch taken by the captain, Shania Mesman. So Chauvin is gotten out for 25. Good contribution. 25 from 21 deliveries. As we see, Merlan Sami is going to replace Chauvin Charles. And we know Merlan Sami is, very hard-hitting batter too, Greg. So very good squad here that the Micoud Eagles has shown so far in terms of names on paper. So far, we've seen the performance have been matching up. So far, there's 73 for 1 in the 7th over.
And this one looking to play across the line. Perhaps been struck outside your thumb there, Gary?
Yeah, well, the umpire must be saying that it looked like it was going down the leg side from what or height might be the issue here. If we see that replay, we will know exactly what happened there. Well, as we see Dalius again and Molan Sami, couple steps down the wicket, hits that ball to the fielder Tariq Gabriel. Tariq Gabriel being very quick across the ground here, preventing the batters from coming back for a second run. So a good close off to the over. As we see, Dalius Monrose is bowled 2 overs, 1 for 16. The only wicket to have fallen, that has gone to Dalius Monrose. Micoud Eagles 78 for 1, and this is the 8th over that's going to be bowled right now. As we see, Javon Charles is going to get ready to bowl that 8th over. But Greg, Javon Charles has not bowled too bad. His figures does not reflect it. 8 runs gone off the first over, but he had bowled a good 5 deliveries leading to the last delivery of his first over. As we see, he starts the first delivery here, and Merlan has been bowled by Javon Charles. We're just saying that he has been bowling well.
Yes, certainly good delivery there, getting the inside edge and the leg stump been uprooted. So certainly Charles been rewarded for good consistent bowling. At this stage, with some 3 overs remaining, one would expect that the batters coming in are really going to go hard at the bowlers. So it looks like one Sammy replaces another. It's Sammy Jr. coming in.
Okay, Darren Sammy Jr. comes in to replace his uncle, Mullen Sammy, another right-hander, replaces another. So the nephew replaces the uncle here. As we see, he comes into a position, he comes into the game where his team is in a healthy position, so he could feel free and play his game. As we see him just missing out on that delivery outside the off stump. And we did see Javon Charles has bowled well. He's held his lines well, Greg. And that has resulted in him getting the second wicket. Well, that's his first wicket, but second wicket for his team.
Badly line delivery on this occasion. And Sammy Jr. capitalizing on this one, just gets the ball away from the fielder at the short long leg region and able to get 4 easy runs. So just when we were commenting on the consistency of Charles, he has just bowled a really loose delivery there, which Darren Sammy Jr. was able to capitalize on. So the score moves on to what, 82 now for 2?
82 for 2, as we see, and Darren Sammy Jr. just coming down the wicket and looking to hit that ball over the Johnson Charles stand here, but just missing out. Like we said, Javon Charles hasn't done too badly for himself and his team. As we see, he's just putting a stop to the run scoring here. Darren Sammy just getting an edge there of one of the deliveries of Charles. As you see, Charles comes in to bowl his 5th delivery to Darren Sammy Jr. A slower delivery there, Greg. Would you say that was a slower delivery? As we see again, Darren Sammy Jr. swinging for the heels here and just missing those deliveries. So a couple dot balls have been bowled so far.
Yeah, swing and a miss there by Sammy Jr. This one is firmly struck past the fielder at the short cover region. He wanted to, but Moving Well certainly was not interested. So at the end of over number 8, we move on to 83 for 2.
Yeah, so one thing that was a little noticeable there was the disappointment from Moving Wells, Greg, when he realized that was the last delivery of the over there. He didn't get back for 2. He realized that was the last delivery of the over. He was a little disappointed there as the Soufriere going to bowl the 9th over here. We see the 10th over, sorry. We see the most economical bowler there for them in Wayne Prosper, who's going to finish off the inning there. He's going to bowl that to Darren Sammy Jr. Let us see how the Darren Sammy Jr. handles himself in that 10th and final over there.
Well, Prosper again continue to bowl the back of a length line, which makes it a bit difficult for those batters so far.
Yes, and Greg, one thing that's noticeable is that Moving Wells has not wasted the delivering quite a while here. So he's been starved of the strike here, Greg.
Finally, they decided to get him on strike. And that should have been done very early on, Gary, because he certainly was hitting the ball.
Yeah.
With a strike rate of well over 168 at this point in time.
Yeah, so him doing the right thing, just dropping it down there for what it would have been interesting to see if there would have been an overthrow to see if Moving Wells would have come back for the second. You see Prosper coming into bowl to Moving Wells. Moving Wells cuts and he misses. As we see the bowler in Wayne Prosper, he has been sticking to what works for him, and he has been hitting that back of a length area. He's a little deceptive, Greg. He comes onto you a lot quicker than you expect. Very, very good bowler. He had been very, very economical in last year's Dream 11 as he continues in that vein. But it was a very good delivery there. That ball misses everything, Greg. And good stop by the keeper. Getting a hand to it. That just a bye. Micoud moves to 85 for 2, Greg. And with the way Micoud started, Greg, do you think that's a good score?
Well, certainly they would be disappointed after over number 7. They were 70 without loss.
Yes, so Soufriere, Greg, so Soufriere has pulled it back very, very well. So there was 70 in the 7th over, Greg. So in the last, that's the 5th ball. So in the last 17 balls, Greg, they've only scored 16 runs.
Yes.
So Soufriere has pulled it back very, very well. So kudos to the bowlers from Soufriere. As we see, Prosper is going to bowl the final delivery, and Moving Wells, a bit fortuitous here. He gets an edge there. Very good bowling nonetheless by Wayne Prosper, and as Moving Wells moves to 46, and he helps his team to 90 for 2. And Soufriere would think, Greg, they've done a fantastic job in terms of pulling it back in the last 3 overs, Greg.
Yes, certainly they would have done a fantastic job, as we did indicate. At the end of the 7th over, they were 70 without loss, and they lost their first wicket at 77. So really and truly, the last 18 deliveries, it only cost the Soufriere team just 20 runs.
Yes.
20 of 18, that's good enough bowling.
That's very good bowling when you have a batsman with the caliber of Moving Wells on 46, on 40 odd from 20 something deliveries, well 28 deliveries that is, and you were able to contain them that much. So 90 for 2, Moving Wells stopped scoring with 46 from 28. Chauvin Charles 25 from 21. Darren Sammy Jr. 6 not out. Molan Sammy just the 1. As we see Soufriere, Suffolk City Stars, Greg, Javon Charles 1 for 14. Dalius Monrose 1 for 16. Bradley Tiso 0 for 9 in 1 over. And Wayne Prosper, I thought, was the key bowler here, 0 for 9 in 2 overs.
Yes, certainly good bowling there, especially by Wayne Prosper. He really led from the front. Bowler sort of had length, back of a length, which made it a bit very difficult for the batsman to score of him, and he only considered just 1 boundary, which was the final ball of the inning. But overall, Soufriere can be very pleased with the effort, having restricted the Micoud Eagles to just 90, because the way they were going, it looked like they certainly would have gotten well over 100 runs.
I do agree with you, Greg. They were going at 10 and over, from over number 1 to over number 7, Greg. They were going at 10 runs and over. So for Soufriere to just bowl them under 100 or bowl the 10 overs under 100, I think they would be very pleased with their efforts in the field. Greg, question for you. I know that Soufriere has included Tariq Gabriel in their squad, and we know Tariq Gabriel in the games that he's played in the Dream 11, he is in the top 10 run getter, so we know of his talents batting wise. So that would add some impetus to the Soufriere batting, add some strength to the Soufriere batting. He has his number 10 in the top 10 leading run scorers, if 298, with a highest of 84 not out. So Soufriere would be confident having him in the lineup, a batter of his caliber having him in the lineup. So do you think that Soufriere has enough in the tank to get that 90, or do you think that the Micoud Eagles have enough bowlers to be able to defend a total of 90?
Well, as you did indicate, with Tariq inclusion in the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars, it's a serious plus for them. But the person that I'm really interested in seeing batting is Julian Sylvester, because remember last year, he really lit up the place with his batting. He's explosive batting at the top of the order. So I would love to see the combination of Julian Sylvester and Tariq Gabriel.
Yes, the left and right hand combination, two very dangerous players, and if those players are to play to their potential today, Greg, or what we know they're capable of doing, they will be able to get over that total very, very quickly. With that being said, Greg, we'll take a break and we'll come back when the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars get back to batting.
Welcome to Winner Sports Beat.
For the most comprehensive sports news broadcast, tune in to Winner Sports Beat, weeknights at 7:30 p.m. Sports Beat features the latest scores, news highlights, and interviews that keeps sports fans informed on what's happening in sports. Winner Sports Beat captures the pulse of the sports world. Watch Sports Beat for exclusive inside information and breaking news on what's really happening behind the scenes. Sports Beat covers the big games, the big plays, and the big wins. Watch Winner Sports Beat weeknights at 7:30 p.m. with daily repeats.
For the best cricket updates, analysis, and an in-depth look at the sport around the world, tune in live to Winners TV every Tuesday from 8:30 p.m. for Cricket Nation, the only show dedicated to cricket in St. Lucia. From the nations to the clubs, the leagues, and the players, Cricket Nation is your window to the world of cricket. So be a part of the nation every Tuesday live from 8:30 p.m. on Winners TV.
9.58 seconds. This is the men's world record for the 100 meters sprint. A running speed of 44.7 kilometers per hour. But just how fast will they run in Budapest? The 2023 World Athletics Championships, live in Budapest, Hungary. Act fast and witness the wonder.
It's Opinionated, the sports show where your opinion matters. Call in to share your opinion on the hottest sports topics. Informative, impactful, and interactive. In-studio guests, news updates, call-in segments. Opinionated.
The only sports show where your opinion matters.
Wednesdays, 8:30 p.m. on Winners TV.
9.58 seconds. This is the men's world record for the 100 meters sprint. A running speed of 44.7 kilometers per hour. But just how fast will they run in Budapest? The 2023 World Athletics Championships, live in Budapest, Hungary. Act fast and witness the wonder.
Winners TV is proud to bring to you Strictly Football. 1 hour of exciting football action from around the globe. Take in all the highlights from St. Lucia, the English Premier League, La Liga in Spain, Ligue 1 in France, the Bundesliga in Germany, and even the Jamaica Premier League. Follow your favorite teams. You don't ever have to miss a goal. Just tune in to Winners TV at 8:30 p.m. every Monday for all the weekend action and Thursdays for the week's updates. Winners TV brings all the action to you. It's Strictly Football, the action-packed highlight show, keeping you abreast with what's happening in the world of football.
This is Budapest, the magical capital of Hungary. And in August 2023, home to the World Athletics Championships, where everyday heroes meet superheroes. World Athletics Championships Budapest 2023. Witness the wonder.
Welcome to Winner Sports Beat.
For the most comprehensive sports news broadcast, tune in to Winner Sports Beat, weeknights at 7:30 p.m. Sports Beat features the latest scores, news highlights, and interviews that keeps sports fans informed on what's happening in sports. Winner Sports Beat captures the pulse of the sports world. Watch Sports Beat for exclusive inside information and breaking news on what's really happening behind the scenes. Sports Beat covers the big games, the big plays, and the big wins. Watch Winner Sports Beat weeknights at 7:30 p.m. with daily repeats.
For the best cricket updates, analysis, and an in-depth look at the sport around the world, tune in live to Winners TV every Tuesday from 8:30 p.m. for Cricket Nation, the only show dedicated to cricket in St. Lucia. From the nations to the clubs, the leagues, and the players, Cricket Nation is your window to the world of cricket. So be a part of the nation every Tuesday live from 8:30 p.m. on Winners TV.
And welcome back to the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground in match day 2, match number 3. The Soufriere Sulphur City Stars versus the Micoud Eagles in the 2023 Dream 11 St. Lucia T10 Blast cricket tournament. So Gary, the Eagles batted first and they posted a score of 90, which we felt they were perhaps 10 to 15 runs short based on where they were after over number 7. But runs on the board is runs on the board, and the Sulphur City Stars are replying. So it looks like Tariq Gabriel and the number 18 Julian Sylvester, as I predicted, may have opened the innings.
Yes, and like you said, Greg, I'm certainly sure Micoud Eagles would have wanted something over 100 here, Greg. A psychological advantage there. And as we see the first delivery, Tariq Gabriel just facing that first delivery, just pushing it through the offside, no run. As we see the second delivery being bowled to Tariq, as a full toss, wide ball being called, and the bowler could count himself lucky here. Tariq didn't get any bat on it. Tariq facing the fast bowler without a helmet, as we see that is from yesterday's game, or 2 games, Greg. Most of the batters came in, or most of them, you know, pretty brave in terms of, you would call it brave, Greg, in terms of facing the fast bowlers without a helmet.
Yeah, but once a few short ones were served, so immediately they called for the helmet.
Yeah, we saw that from Rohan Lesmore. As soon as that short ball went over his head, he called for the helmet. It was the right thing to do.
So Tariq pushing one down to the mid-on region, fielder in his follow-through.
Yeah, we see some confusion there, Greg.
Yeah, but it looked like Tariq was a bit lucky that the bowler reacted a bit slow.
Yes, he did react a bit slow. Both he and Julian Sylvester were stranded, and the bowler not being able to hit the stumps here. Nonetheless, Soufriere moves to 2 without loss from 2 deliveries here. Tariq Gabriel has gotten himself going in the tournament. He's gotten 1. Julian Sylvester is going to face his first delivery, Greg, off of the bowler. The bowler's name, Michaud Shalri. Michaud Shalri, who reigns from the community of Micoud, still in the Micoud constituent, still in the Micoud area.
So we see for the first time in the tournament that the captain has employed 2 slips. Darren Sami.
Yeah, Darren Sami standing at slip here. Do you think you see him bowl today, Greg? I do think if things get a bit tight, Darren Sami, he doesn't like losing. He'll definitely take the ball here. As you see, Michaud Shalri goes up to bowl his 4th delivery to Emmanuel. And that ball was a bit wide. Sylvester, sorry, Julian Sylvester. Julian Sylvester was very prolific last year, Greg.
Yes, Sylvester was one of the more prolific batters. I think on almost every occasion he came out, he contributed some runs to his team. So Shalri really making a concerted effort to really keep that ball wide.
As we see Darren Sami just using his experience there, that ball could have been signal wide, Greg. That ball was pretty wide. As you see Julian Sylvester just going outside off stump to try to make contact with that ball, but that ball definitely looked like it passed the wide line, and Darren Sami just trying to confuse the umpire with that appeal there, and being successful. The umpire did not call a wide. As you see the 5th delivery, another wide delivery, fantastic shot here by Julian Sylvester. Another man moves, he didn't run. From the time that ball came off the middle of the bat, he knows that it's gone for 4. As we see, he's helped his team to the first boundary of their inning and their tournament. So 7 without loss, Greg.
Yes, a good shot there by Sylvester. You have Michaud Shalri looking to bowl full and wide outside the off-stump, but on this occasion, it was close enough to Sylvester, who really spunked it through the point ridge and all along the ground. Had 4 written on it from the time it left the bat. And this one stylishly left alone, but was wide outside the off stump and wide called by the umpire.
So the ploy here, Greg, it looks like from us here, from our vantage point, it looks like the Micoud Eagles are looking to bowl Julian Sylvester a bit wide. So maybe they think that his weakness is bowling wide. Let's see if that works. Wide delivery here. That ball just pushed to backward point. Darren Sammy Jr. fields that ball. Very good fielder, Greg. Very agile in the field. As you see, the Sulphur City Stars, they've started 8 without loss. The required run rate is at 9. They need 9 runs and over. 9.5. So they're at 8 runs. They right there with the rate, Greg. And if they continue like that, I'm certainly sure they will get very close to that 90.
Well, once the likes of Sylvester could bat up to perhaps the 5th, 6th over, I'm certain that he would put his team in a very commanding position if he could bat the way we saw him last year, because he was always a no-nonsense player.
Very much so, Greg. Like I said, he's in the top 10 run getters there. He's played the least amount of games in the top 10, Greg, and he has 298 runs. So it just goes to show that he's a, from what we know, former West Indies under 19 player. So he's a good, really, really good batter, very classy. As you can see, he just comes back and pushes that ball back to the bowler in Sanjay Pamphil, number 99. If memory serves me right, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, Sanjay Pamphil, was he representing Soufriere last year or Beaufort?
I think it was Beaufort North.
Beaufort North. So he moves to Micoud. So he comes up the road. He moves to Micoud Eagles.
On this occasion, Tariq looking to go over the top. Ball coming off the inner portion of the bat. It goes through to the fielder at the mid-on region. They're able to scamper through for a single.
You see Darren Sammy just conducting, making sure that his fielders are in the correct position for Julian Sylvester. Julian Sylvester will be hitting with the breeze into the Johnson Charles stand, and we saw last year that he deposited many deliveries over into the Johnson Charles stand. Soufriere will be hoping that he continues in that vein. As you see, Sanjay Pamphil goes to Julian Sylvester. Julian Sylvester try to hit that ball into the Johnson Charles stand, but misses out on that delivery here. But Soufriere trying to rotate the strike, Greg?
Yes, certainly Julian would consider himself, he missed out on that occasion. The ball really was into the pads and looked to help it over the square leg region.
And Greg, with that swing, you'd think if he had made contact that ball would have gone over the Johnson Charles stand. You see Tariq just ensuring that he glances at his field, make sure that he surveys that field very well. He moves across and he tries to hit that ball over the short, fine leg. I wouldn't advise Tariq to play that shot without the helmet. And nonetheless, he tried it, missed out.
Yeah, we're looking at the Philly, perhaps would have been better suited hitting that ball over Darren Sammy Jr. at short cover.
Yeah, very much so. I think the movement was a bit early. You see Sanjay Pamphil is going to bowl his 5th delivery. Tariq cuts and he cuts well. He's putting some pressure on the field out in the deep, and he comes back for 2. Very good and aggressive running by the Soufriere batters so far. We always know Tariq to be very, very quick between the wickets.
And I must say, Gary, it's nice to see Tariq back in domestic cricket.
Yeah, it's very nice to see a talent like him back playing cricket. He moves on, he takes his talent to Soufriere, and that ball, number 19, who's the wicketkeeper for Micoud Eagles, Swelan Ogis, was not able to get down in time. So He's cost his team 4 whites.
4 byes.
4 byes, that is. I didn't know the umpire did not signal a wide. He signaled wide. All right, so Soufriere Eagles, Soufriere Sulphur City Stars move on to 17 without loss. Good fill in there by Lance Sami. Good return to the bowler there. Sanjay Pamphil completes his very first over here. Just 8 runs coming off the first over. So far, Sulphur City staying right with the rate here. They need 9.2. They're at 8.5. So they're not doing too bad chasing this total, as we see a bowling change from the commentary booth end, Greg.
Yes, trying to see who's the new bowler. But in terms of the quick comparison,
it looks like it's Custon Jules.
After 2, the Micoud Eagles, they were 19, and after 2, you say that the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars, they are 17, so just 2 runs adrift.
Yep. So Soufriere, just staying with the rate there, as we see the introduction of Custon Jules, number 53, is going to bowl his first delivery to Sylvester. Sylvester pulls and misses out. Well, the pulls, it makes contact, but that ball hits that ball onto his pads, and there's no run. But first time seeing Custon Jules, Greg.
I think Custon Jules did play for a team last year. I think we will get it in a while. But certainly, he did play last year for the teams, and looking to force this one again into the onside. Almost played it back to the bowler. Something's gonna happen. So certainly, Sylvester unable to unleash those big shots we saw last year. They have kept him quiet so far.
Yes, he's looking to hit it very, very hard, and maybe missing out on some timing here. As you see, he faced his first delivery from Custon, and there's some pace there. That ball goes straight through the keeper, and Darren Sam is not amused by what has just happened with the keeper, and he gives the keeper that stare there. Very disappointed, and that is gone for 4 byes here. That ball was very quick, Greg. That ball burst through the keeper's glove here. So Custon Jules just rushing the batters for a bit there, and I think maybe Sylvester's maybe better suited just trying to rotate the strike as much as possible, as opposed to just swinging for the heels, because Greg, we do know dot balls definitely build pressure.
Yes, certainly this one was a quick delivery, looking to play a very cute shot, sort of looking to ramp the ball over the keeper's head, and the ball went right through the gloves of Swelan Ogis. Again, looking to pull this one into the onside, not making proper contact.
I do think is maybe better served just giving Tariq the strike, because Tariq would be hitting with the breeze into the Johnson Charles stand, and it looks like with Custon Jules' natural angle, he would be bringing that ball into the right-hander, which would probably favor Tariq Gabriel a little bit more as opposed to the left-hander, because he's hitting against the breeze, and he tries to ramp it, and this time he's very successful at that, gets a boundary for that, Greg. So he's improvised there a bit, Greg. He's helped himself to a boundary. His team moves on to 25 without loss.
Yes, the second time that he has attempted the shot, and on this occasion he was able to execute. So perhaps Jules would need to pitch this ball a little fuller.
Yeah, Micoud seemed a little bit quiet in the field there. Chips down and he swings, and making good contact with that delivery here, and he's definitely trying to hit the ball a little bit too hard here, Greg.
And certainly losing his shape in the process.
Very much so, as we see Kirsten Jules just closing off this over well here. Team moves on to Micoud, not Micoud Eagles, but Soufriere Sulphur City Stars move on to 25 without loss in the third over. After the third over, a new bowler is going to bowl from the Players Pavilion, and Darren Sammy is really ringing the changes as we see the inclusion of his younger brother Mullan Sammy.
Yes, Mullan Sammy will be taking up the attack from the Players Pavilion end. So again, after the third over, they are just 2 runs adrift. So they are pretty much keeping up with the, and this one is whipped over the fielder at the short backward square region, and it has gone over the boundary for 4. So certainly Tariq Gabriel is looking to continue with the good work they have started. So Samir a bit on the short side, but certainly does not have the sort of pace we saw from Jules in the previous over.
Yes, good shot by Tariq Gabriel here, just helping that ball over the shot of fine leg fielder. As you see, Mullan Sammy comes into bowl. His second delivery to Tariq, and again that ball goes down the leg side. Tariq just trying to help it over the shot fine leg fielder again, and missing out. So far, Sulphur City Stars is 30 without loss. Micoud has helped them by bowling 14 extras here. So far, Sulphur City Stars would be very happy about the extras that they bowl in, and as we see Mervyn Wells just putting in a dive there and stopping 2 runs. So good effort by Mervyn Wells done on the dip mid-wicket boundary, Greg.
Yes, that was a good effort indeed. Run all the way trying to get to the ball, and certainly put in the dive and is able to stop the ball from perhaps going into the boundary. So this is sort of commitment I think that Captain Darren Sammy would want from his players.
Yeah, very much so. They're not a very, very young team, but Greg, you could see the elders are definitely putting in that effort and putting their bodies on the line.
And on this occasion, finally, Sylvester got one off the middle of the bat, and this one gone straight back past the bowler for 4. So this over is shaping to be an expensive over. Some free deliveries bowled so far, and they've gotten some 10 runs.
Definitely. Excess finally finds the middle of the bat as he's going to face another delivery from Mullan, and he pulls and he misses out again. And it looks like every time he looks to play the ball across the line is when he loses his shape and misses the entire ball. Now, we see, if you have to compare his innings last year, Greg, to this year, some of the innings that we watched him play, he was playing the ball a lot straighter. See him again today, he pulls. That ball, Darren Sammy Jr. just comes around, makes a good stop, prevents a boundary here, Greg.
Yes, move around smartly to his left. So 1 delivery left to close off the over. Question whether Mullan Sammy would be able to close with some 11 runs already coming off those first 5 deliveries. So Pamphil perhaps not picking up this one very early, Gary.
And then Sammy looks very disgusted with the effort there. He's raising his hand to Pamphil, but that ball was hit very, very viciously down to the dip mid-wicket fielder, and Sanjay Pamphil just said to himself, I'm better off just picking that ball up on the bounce. As his captain was not too amused, not too pleased with the effort there. But nonetheless, so for Sulphur City Stars move to 37. They need 54 runs from 6 overs. So 54 from 36 deliveries here, Greg.
Well, very much gettable. More so, they have not lost a wicket. With Gabriel and Sylvester still out in the middle, we know that they're both capable of finding the boundary regularly. So certainly with Sammy Jr. now into the attack, we see a bit of spin for the first time.
Yes, Sammy Jr. is going to bowl his left arm orthodox. I'm certainly sure he must feel very good playing with his father. As we see, the most prolific bowler has not bowled as yet in Lance Sami. He took the most wickets in the tournament in the season that they won. Matter of fact, he was MVP of the tournament, or for Micoud Eagles, when they actually won the tournament. So Lance Sami, who's at long off, has not bowled the delivery yet, but nonetheless, we see, and Darren Sammy Jr. has gotten away with a full toss.
And no ball
and
signal.
a no ball signal, as we see the batter is down. The ball hit him right in the stomach or in the chest area.
Again, he was looking to swing too hard.
Very much so. As we see Darren Sammy Jr., his field would be a long on, a long off, a dip mid wicket, a dip square leg, a sweeper, backward point, cover, and 45. So, and as mid wicket, his father is that short mid wicket as he bowled his foot delivery, and not Emmanuel, but
Gabriel, Sylvester.
Sylvester hits straight, and every time Sylvester looks to hit the ball straight, he makes contact and hits the maximum. So again, he's just hitting straight. He carries his team to 43. He gets a maximum. He's moved to 19. Sylvester's moved to 19, and Soufriere Sulphur City Stars looking good, chasing this total 43 without loss. And Darren Sammy Jr. has only bowled the 2 deliveries. He's going to bowl his 4th delivery now. That ball is wide, and the umpire signaled wide here.
Certainly he's feeling the pressure already. Just firing this one in.
I'm wondering what is his father saying to him at short mid wicket. Ball was
cleverly played, just running this one down for Foodman. Fielder is giving chase. And they're going to come back for 2. Tariq is interested in a food, and he's going to come back for the food. Good aggressive running there by Tariq Gabriel.
Yes, good aggressive running here from the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars, especially Tariq Gabriel. We see Chauvin Charles just chasing, looking very quick, running, chasing that ball to the foot man boundary here, stopping one, while preventing a boundary here. As we see the batter still crossed for 3, 47 without loss.
Dot ball there by Sammy.
And we see Tariq Gabriel very disappointed with that shot. It was better off cutting that ball as opposed to trying to look too fancy. As he pushes that ball to the backward point, and Darren Sammy Jr. just varying his pace there as he comes to deliver his final delivery to Tariq, and Tariq gives himself some room and tried to hit that ball into the Johnson Charles stand. Not a very smart shot, as Darren Sammy Jr. has protection on that side of the field. He has 3 men out in the dip mid wicket, the dip square leg, and the long on out on the onside. So Darren Sammy just calls his team in for a quick meeting. It doesn't feel like his team is playing to its potential, so the pressure is on the Micoud Eagles, and Darren Sammy has called his team together to get those boys on the same wavelength here.
Yes, certainly Sammy is not pleased with the effort so far, and one would think that perhaps the umpires need to ask them to get on with it. There's no need, it's not a whole of a wicket, Gary, for Sammy to be having that sort of conference out in the middle.
Yes, he had a conference, and you could see he was, with his movement, he's being very serious in terms of the team talk, as we see fielders going back into their position, and we see the inclusion of Ted Augustine will be replacing, will be coming from the Players Pavilion end. So Ted will be replacing Merlan Sammy, who's gone for 12 in his first over. And we know Ted, he too has played for Monrepo. A lot of variation, slower balls. Bowls the Yorker very well also. So Micoud need a further 44 runs to win, Greg. Right, from 30 deliveries, Greg, and they have not lost a wicket as yet, Greg.
Yes, certainly a good platform set by these two. This one is slashed over the point region. It goes close to the boundary. It's going to win the race. The ball has finally gone over the ropes. So Jonas has been welcomed with a boundary, but this one was short and wide, really gave Sylvester the room to really free his arms.
Yes, as we see another boundary over the backward point fielder in Chauvin Charles. Chauvin Charles chasing another delivery again, and Chauvin Charles definitely getting some cardio in today. As we see, Micoud was moved to 51 without loss. No delivery there, and he pushes that ball at Darren Sammy, dives, and he misses the delivery. He falls twice, makes a valiant effort in terms of trying to recover and stopping that one, not being able to do so. Remember, Darren Sammy is 39, Greg, currently. So 39 years of age, still putting in that effort and making sure that he shows his team that he could dive around and throw himself.
He's actually laughing out there.
And throw himself around. Good effort. Another wide being signal, no? As we see, the umpire has not signaled us yet. Yes, it is a wide, and the batter is down again, Greg. As the same batter, Sylvester is down again. So twice he's been down in that inning. He gets back up. Sylvester is definitely looking to hit that ball hard and far over into the Johnson Charles stand, and again missing out on a delivery, just trying to hit it too hard, Greg.
Yeah, certainly looking to muscle this ball into the stand and loses his shape on almost every occasion. Again, wide down the leg side, so the Eagle bowlers, they are really struggling.
Yes, as
extras are moving on to a healthy 18 right now.
Yeah, as we see, the bowler was not too happy with that signal from the umpire, but from our vantage point, it was wide, Greg. And we see he changes, and he comes around to the left-handed Sylvester. Sylvester is now on 13. He's played a lot of shots, but he's now on 28, sorry. And he hits that ball. That ball is up in the air as we see Chauvin Charles comes around, and he takes a good catch there. And Sylvester is out. Sylvester lost his wicket here. Good contribution of 28 from 23 deliveries. And Greg, if we have to be fair, he's not looked like himself, not middle too many deliveries. Nonetheless, he's helped himself and his team, put his team in a good position. They're 55 for 1. He's contributed 28 from 23. Tariq Gabriel still on 9 from 12, a little bit slow. He has not gotten going as much as he'd liked.
Yes, certainly Sylvester has missed out on quite a number of deliveries, really looking to hit the ball perhaps a little too hard and really losing his shape in the process. But a good catch, nevertheless, taken by Chauvin Charles, well judged. Sammy certainly would have wanted to see the back of Sylvester, because from what we saw of him last year, if he can hang around until the 7th or 8th over, certainly, and if he can connect, the match could be all over in a shout.
Yeah, very much so, Greg. They still have Tariq Gabriel, who's still batting. He has been very prolific, like I said, in this tournament. The new batter, Emmanuel, Ecstasy Emmanuel, that is. He's gone as number 7 for Soufriere. Ecstasy Emmanuel is replacing Julian Sylvester here. And we see the bowler in Ted Augustine. He picks up his first wicket, Greg. So he now has 1 for 8 in 0.4 overs.
This one, fake outside edge. Pamphil comes around. Restrict them to just one. So
good stop by Pamphil. Down on the third man boundary here.
So a bit of slow going really by Tariq Gabriel, having faced some 12 deliveries for just 9 runs.
Yes, very much so. He hasn't gotten going, not his usual self. A ball is wide, another wide delivery here by Ted Augustine. One for 9 in 0, well, 1 for 10 now for him in 0.5. Like I said, Micoud has not helped themselves at all, bowling-wise. And dot ball to complete the over here. They've not helped themselves bowling-wise. A lot of extras. Matter of fact, the extras column has gone up to... So it's Ted Jonas has been bowling here. So extras column has gone up to 19. That is, as we see... The current run rate at 9.5, they require 8.5 to win, so they're actually ahead of the run rate. As we see Ecstasy Emmanuel is going to take strike. We see Lance Sammy replacing his nephew, Darren Sammy Jr. from the commentary booth end. And Darren Sammy's senior is ensuring that his fielders are in the right position. I see Lance Sammy is going to bowl his first delivery, and very good shot by Emmanuel, hitting that ball into the Johnson Charleston, not where Lance Sammy would have wanted to pitch that delivery, and Darren Sammy just gesturing to Lance Sammy that he needs that ball on the off stump, outside off stump, not on leg stump.
Well, this was beautifully executed by Emmanuel, just whipped this one off the pad.
You see Emmanuel just coming back and trying to work that ball through the leg side, not being very successful at that. 63 for 1, as you see Lance Sammy is going to bowl his third delivery. Very good shot again, over cover. He's cut that ball over the backward point, and the fielder comes around, feels that good return, flat return into the wicket keeper, and he prevents another run. Score moves on to 64 for 1.
Yes, so still good going there by the Sulphur City Stars. And this one it's uppishly. Look like it's going to be a second catch for Chauvin. Yes, it does. So Tariq Gabriel on this occasion, Perishin looking to hit one on the up. Only able to find the safe hands of
Chauvin Charles.
So, Gary, as much as they may have lost the wicket of Tariq Gabriel, but it might very well be a blessing in disguise because they really have not been striking the ball.
I was thinking the very same thing, Greg. I do think maybe it's a good thing that he lost his wicket there, gets the captain in to the crease, Shanai Mesman, Tariq Gabriel, as much as we know of his talents and what he's done today. He was not his usual self. So he's not been he didn't time the ball as much as he would have liked today, Greg. And, he has been out of the tournament after a little hiatus, and he's back this season. It's nice to see him back playing some cricket. As we see Lance Sammy, like I said, has been very good for the Micoud Eagles over the years. He's taken a lot of wickets for them and done well for them, so he continues in that vein. He's taken up his first wicket. He's picked up his first wicket there. 1 for 7 in 0.4. Soufriere need 27 from 20 balls, Greg.
Very much gettable. And this one is mighty 6 there by the captain Mesmin. And this one has gone perhaps a good 40 rows into the Johnson Charleston.
It's very much so. That's a huge hit. First ball, Greg, from the captain Mesben. That ball has gone miles into the Johnson Charleston, as we see Darren Sammy Jr. on the deep mid-wicket boundary, looking very disappointed with the line and the length that his uncle Lansami has bowled. His ball is final delivery to the captain, and he comes back, and the captain just works that ball through the vacant third man area, and he helps himself to another boundary. So Lansami 1 for 17, very expensive over there by Lansami. Soufriere just require for the 17 runs, Greg. The required rate has crept down. It has gone down to 5.67 runs and over. So Soufriere has been going at 10 runs and over, and Soufriere showing that they have what it takes batting wise to get over that total. So 7 overs gone, Greg.
Yes, a very productive
17
over.
To win from 18 balls. So that should be a walk in the park for Soufriere. But you know how cricket goes.
Gary, after 7, the Micoud Eagles, they would have been 70 without loss. And the Soufriere Sulphur City, they are 74 for 2.
Again, we see an edge there from the batter, Extus, Emmanuel. That ball just comes down to the third man fielder, which is Sanjay Pamfield. Good return into the keeper. Another helps his team to 1. Well, that's 75 now. Score moves on to 75. The captain, Mesman.
So really and truly, Gary, the dismissal of Tariq Gabriel was a blessing in disguise. Right?
Very much so, as Mesman has just confirmed
10.
Our suspicion, as we see. Good shot again, cut short there. Chauvin Charles at backward point, ensuring that they stay on strike, that the captain stays on strike here. And you'd like to think that
Tariq Gabriel 9 of 14, Mesmin 10 of 3.
Yes, so Mesmin has been going at every delivery since he's been in the wicket, and he goes again, and he hits a big 6 again, Greg, straight past the bowler there, over the long on fielder, and the captain, Shanai Mesmin, means business, Greg.
Yes, certainly Mesmin means business. He did not do well with the ball, and certainly we saw a few blemishes in the field from him, but certainly he is coming good with the bat.
Very much so. He hits some big ones, and again comes. It's a wide delivery there. Umpire is going to signal a wide delivery there. The score moves on to 82 for 2. So Soufriere, Sulphur City Stars, looking very, very dominant with their batting here, Greg. They need a further 9 runs from 15 deliveries. So the inclusion of the captain Mesman since Tariq Gabriel has gotten out has worked very, very well for the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars.
A quick single taken there.
Very quick single taken there, and you see Soufriere has moved on to 83. They need 8 more runs to win, and the Micoud Eagles look a bit dejected in the field there, as we see not too much energy coming from them, as we see Ted Jonas bowls, Mesman cuts, Chauvin feels very, very well at backward point and throws that ball to the bowler Ted Jonas to prevent a run here. So Chauvin has fielded very, very well at backward point.
Mesmin do have a half century. He has a 59 not out against South Castries for Soufriere.
From 28 deliveries, as you see, Exus Emmanuel cuts and cuts well as that ball gets the edge and goes to the third man fielder, Sanjay Pamfield, number 99. Good return into the keeper as Soufriere, Sulphur City Stars, they move to 84 for 2. 2 more overs remaining here, Greg. 12 balls to get 7 runs. And again, Greg, you like to think that that should be a walk in the park for Soufriere. But last year, Soufriere lost the game in the semi-final that they should not have lost, Greg.
Yes, so certainly they would not want history to repeat itself. I think they do have this one, and they need to really go over the finish line.
But Greg, I'll tell you what, body language says a lot. And I saw the captain, Mesman, the way he came out. He looked like he wanted to bat. He looked like he meant business. And that showed when he came into the wicket. Right now, you've seen a very dejected Micoud Eagles. Sammy is trying to keep them up. As we see Number 53 comes into bowl, and the batter just comes around. Ecstasy Emmanuel, and is that the deal scoop?
Certainly the deal scoop from outside the off stump.
Deal scoop from outside the off. So it looks like the Soufriere players have been practicing that deal scoop, because a lot of them have tried to play that shot in the game. So they have been practicing that shot. Matter of fact, I think they've gotten some runs off of that shot.
Yeah, it has been, they have gotten a bit of runs, but I think Sunday, Gary, I was down in the Soufriere area. I had a chat with actually Mesmin concerning the tournament, but I saw the guys have two concrete strips. I do not know how much time they have and space to be practicing those deal scope.
Yeah, well, it definitely look like they have been practicing it, and they look like they're getting more and more successful at executing it. 3 runs to win, number 53, and he's ready to scoop again before the bowler bowls that delivery. And they're definitely having some fun with the bowlers, as Sammy has pushed back the short fine leg to dip fine leg to fine leg. He brings on the long on to mid on, and Sammy's telling him to bounce that ball, and short pitch ball there, and we see Ecstasy Manuel just cutting that ball over the longer fielder, and he comes back for 2. So he's just playing with the field there, Greg.
Yes, certainly. I think Captain Sam is not pleased. We have the batter Emmanuel really making a mockery out of his bowler.
Very much so. And it's all fun and games. Scores 1 run to win. Scores level. Very good shot again. You could see Ecstasy Manuel is looking good, Greg. Good batter. And Soufriere has gotten themselves over the line with 9 balls to spare. Very dominant performance there by the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars. And they're definitely playing like a team who know what they are about. They stick to their plans, and they try their very best to execute it. As we see, they've gotten themselves over the line here. As we see, Micoud Eagles will have to go back to the drawing board. I'm certainly sure Captain Sammy will have a long conversation with them in the dressing room to ensure that they do much better than they did this time in the next game, Greg.
Yes, a good comprehensive victory there by the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars, but the Micoud Eagles would have themselves to blame, in the sense that the last 3 overs when they batted really was not productive enough, Gary, after being 70 without loss after 7. So really they could consider themselves perhaps 10, 15 runs short of where they really would have wanted to be.
Yes, and Micoud Eagles, from where they were, like you said, Greg, batting at 70 for 70 without loss in 7 overs, going at 10 runs and over, and only able to get 90, they would be very, very disappointed with their efforts, with the bat. We look at the summary here. Micoud Eagles moving wells in their 10 overs. They scored 90 for 2 moving wells, 46 from 28 deliveries. Chauvin Charles, 25 from 21. Darren Sammy Jr., 6 not out. Mulan Sammy, 1 from 3 deliveries. As we see the bowling for Soufriere, Charles, 1 for 13. Dalius Monrose, 1 for 16. Bradley Tissot, 0 for 9. And I think the pick of the bowlers for me, Greg, was Wayne Prosper, none for 9. He only conceded a boundary in the last delivery of the inning. So he's bowled just the 9 runs, conceding the 9 runs in 2 overs. And Soufriere Sulphur City Stars batting card, Julian Sylvester, 28 from 23. Shanai Mesben, a blistering 17 from 5 deliveries, Greg. And Ecstasy Manuel, 17 from 10 deliveries. That Gabriel, 9 from 14. Just coming back into the tournament, struggled a little bit, but I'm certainly sure he's going to take that going into the other game. The bowling for Micoud Eagles, Lance Sammy, 1 for 17. Ted Jonas, 1 for 20 in 2. Michael Shalry, none for 8 in 1. Sanjay Pamphil, none for 8 in 1. And Greg, you'd like to think that Micoud would be very disappointed with that performance today.
Yes, certainly. Micoud would be disappointed, knowing the captain, Sammy, who really do not like to lose, is a very competitive player. But certainly, this is just the first game, and I think if you want to have a bad game, Gary, you would perhaps want it to be your first game in the tournament.
Yes, very, very
because we
much
saw Monrepo last year, they lost the first game and they were able to come back and win the overall tournament.
Yes, I think as the teams get into the tournament, Greg, I'm hoping, well, and from if history repeats itself, they play a lot better cricket. As we see Monrepo, they lost their first game. They have some guys coming back in. Well, one of the key players in Sajak Deskas will be coming back in. So hopefully that will bolster their batting and bowling. We see Micoud there. I'm certainly sure Darren Sammy would probably be almost the first time meeting his new players and his team. So he'll definitely be tinkering with the bowling and batting lineup a bit to see how we could get maximum out of both bowling and batting. But so far, he will certainly sure the coach and the captain would note the things that they need to improve on. That's the Micoud Eagles. But Soufriere, Sulphur City Stars, they've done very well for themselves, and since last year, they've played some very, very good, consistent cricket. And Greg, they've continued in that vein this season.
Yes, they have played good, consistent cricket over the last 2 years, and certainly they would want to continue with that sort of performance. Sylvester, certainly we know what he was capable of doing last year, although he did not set the place alight today, but really we saw a few shots from him that reminded us of what he did last year. Perhaps looking to hit the ball a little too hard, and most of the occasions he was really losing his ship in doing so. And as we indicated, when Tariq Gabriel just coming back, having not played cricket for a while, so it's going to take him perhaps a match or two to really get into form. And well, what can we say about the captain Mesmin? He certainly did not live up to expectation with the ball, but certainly with the bat, the very first delivery he faced, we saw him deposited it right into the Johnson Charles stand. And Ecstasy Manuel, certainly he played a good hand as well. 10 balls he faced and he had some 17 not out. So certainly we could see that, you know, looking at the team, the lineup, that Soufriere is not going to be a pushover.
Not at all. And like I said, Soufriere has been playing some very good cricket from last season. So they've come back this season with that sort of consistency from last season. They have, like I said, they've been bolstered by the batting of Tariq Gabriel. So Soufriere Sulphur City Stars have done very well for themselves. Good start by the Stars, Sulphur City Stars. And I'm certainly sure the Eagles will definitely go back to the drawing board and see what they could correct and come back into the next game a much better and stronger unit.
Well, we just want to let our viewers know that we're just standing by to join our fellow commentator, Chloe Dantes, who would be speaking to the two captains and the man of the match. So as soon as they're ready for us, we are going to go across to Chloe Dantes.
On field right now with me is Jovan Charles, captain of the Micoud Eagles. First day on the field today, and you guys got a loss. How do you feel about it?
After you get a loss in the first game of a tournament, you always want to start off with a momentum. But we have 6 more games, and we're hoping that we could bounce back from that win. I just want to say congratulations to Soufriere. They're a very talented team, and they played well today.
What would you say was your downfall? Was it your bowling?
It was a number of things. Batting first, you can get an opening score of 70 something and only amass 70 in 10 overs. You're leaving yourself open to a lot of mistakes. I think we didn't capitalize. We didn't push on after we got 70, after we lost the first wicket, and we bowled too many extras. To bowl 20 extras in a 10 over game, that means we have to bowl 13 overs instead of 10, so that gives them an advantage already.
So what's your point of view on your opponents?
Soufriere is a very talented bunch, I can tell you that. They are forced to reckon with, and I want everybody to be looking at them in this tournament. But this is a very talented bunch of guys, and they played well, so congrats to them.
Okay, well, congratulations and best of luck to you in your next match.
Thank you.
Okay, joining me right now is, of course, Team Soufriere, the winners of this match. How are you? How are you right now?
I feel good, satisfied with the performance today.
Okay, so what do you think about Micoud and their performance, seeing that they really struggled in that last beat?
It was always going to be a tough game for us. I mean, the best team wins on the day, and we went out there and we back ourselves. I feel that they got like 21 shots on the ball, and then that was in our favor.
Okay, so what should we expect from y'all moving forward?
More electric cricket, to be honest, to have more fun on the field and to bring the tournament to life.
Thank you very much and best of luck to you. Now, of course, is man of the match. Hi, how are you? Congratulations, coming up with amazing performance. Let's talk about it.
Well, it was just me going out there and bowling the right lines and lengths to the batsmen out there. And today I got it right.
Obviously, we'll be expecting more from you coming up in your next matchup. What should we expect?
Well, pretty much the same. I just always try to go out there and just give it my best.
Okay, as I said, congratulations. Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyways, that's me coming from the field. Back to you in the commentary box.
Yes, so you just heard it from our on-field personnel. That's Chloe Dantes, who's had a chat with the two captains and the man of the match. And as we did indicate, Gary, that we felt the Micoud Eagles, they were short, and the captain Mesmin did indicate that he felt they were 20-run short. So certainly this would have been the area. Even the captain, the standing captain, Chauvin Charles, did indicate that he felt after they were 70 without loss, the loss of the first wicket, they really did not push on.
Yes, very honest conversations there from the two captains. You could see Chauvin Charles just letting the public know to take the Sulphur City Stars very, very seriously, because I did say earlier that they have been playing some very good cricket from last year, and like you said, the captain just said he's looking to light up the tournament and set this tournament alight. And they have started very, very well. The Micoud Eagles, they know that they did not do themselves justice with the start that they had, batting wise. They did not help themselves with the bowling, giving so many extras. Well, 21 extras, Greg. That's an extra almost, 3 point something overs that they've given Soufriere to bat. Nonetheless, they have another 6 games to play, and I'm certainly sure they will put things in place to ensure that they don't repeat the very same mistakes that they made today. I'm certainly sure Sulphur City Stars, on the other hand, would be looking to strengthen a lot of areas in their game. But I do think that they picked up from where they left off last season. I did think that they've learned a lot from the experiences that they found themselves in last season.
So match 3 is done and dusted. We are looking forward to match number 4, which will be the upcoming at 2:30. This is the game, the Babono Leatherbacks. They will be up against the Central Castries Mindu Heritage. So we are going to go to break now, and we ask you to join us at about 2:25, where we're going to resume the broadcast.